Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's also a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of the time on exam day when you're working through your paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And so now we're going to look at the 2015 Grade 2 Paper S. So if you turn with me to page 14, there we go, and we'll make a start on this. So this wasn't actually sat as an exam, this is just an extra specimen paper that they've provided you in the end of this booklet. Now the format has changed in the way that the exam papers are presented to you from 2018 onwards. However, I do recommend that you just work through this paper as it's an excellent revision opportunity, and I also suggest that you have a go of this first on your own. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. Always write in pencil. It doesn't matter if you can go wrong, you can just rub it out and try again. And so we're going to add a time signature to these 5 melodies. So we need 5 separate time signatures. There's no continuation. There's a double bar line and there's an extra time signature required at the beginning of each of these lines. So the first job is we need to decide what our bottom number is going to be. Are we counting in units of crotchets, which are quarter notes, quavers, eighth notes, or minims, half notes? Now this one, I suggest we look at this bar here, and that tells us straight away we're counting in quavers or eighth notes. So our bottom number is going to be 8, because if we count in 4 as the bottom number with crotchets or quarter notes, there's not going to be a complete beat. Neither is there if we're counting in minims or half notes. So 8 is our only option, and we can see straight away that we've got 1, 2, 3 eighth notes or 3 quaver beats per bar. If you want to double check that in the other bars, you can see that 2 semis, 2 16th notes make a quaver or an eighth note. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here, of course, 1, 2, 3 with the dot. 1 quaver beat, half a quaver beat and half a quaver beat. Those 2 gives another, and then 3. However, this bar is the easiest and you've got your answer straight away. So let's have a look at the next one. Now here we're grouped in 2s. We can see 2 quaver beats here, and so we can see that we're not going to be in counting in eighths, because that's grouped in 3s. So we're counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes, and we can see that that's half of a crotchet beat or quarter note. So we've got 2 halves give us 1 beat, a half and 2 quarters give us another beat, so we're 2 over 4. Now if, like me, maths isn't your strong point, what I do is I imagine there's a whole beat, divide it into quarters. We've got half of a beat here, and then a quarter of a beat and a quarter of a beat, and we can see that they're all beamed together to give us 1 beat. So really you can just see beat 1, beat 2, beat 1, beat 2, beat 1, beat 2, beat 1, beat 2. Because we know from the rules of beaming we have to group in units of the beat for the time signature. So let's move on to the next one. Now this one, I think at a glance we can tell that it's a good guess to think that we'll be counting in minim beats or half notes. And if we look at this first bar, we can see that this whole note or the semi-breve divides into 2 minims, 2 half notes, and then there's another one. 3 over 2 is the only possible option there. So that's that completed. If you want to just double check that, we've got 1 minim beat here with a dot, that's half of a minim beat, half of a half note. So the dot and the next note, the crotchet or the quarter note, gives us another minim beat, and then those two together give us a minim beat. So we can see 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This divides into 2, 1, 2, and then here is your half note or minim beat rest. So there's our value for the third missing beat. Let's move on. So I would suggest this is the easiest bar to look at. And again, now we're not going to be counting in quaver beats. We can see we grouped in twos. So we're going to be counting in either crotchet beats or minim beats. So our bottom number is going to be either 2 or 4. So I'm just going to go with 4 for the moment. Let's see how that works out. So this is 2 crotchet beats, 2 quarter notes. Here's another one. Here's another one. So 4 over 4 is our time signature there. Now it's equally feasible to say 2 over 2, because the maths for that would be 1 minim beat, 1 minim beat. So either of those is acceptable. It's a little bit of a option to the composer how he wants to group that. So mathematically speaking, either of those will do. And of course then we could also say common time or the ABRSM split common time. So any of those would be acceptable. So if you just choose the easiest bar, of course, double check. 1, 2, 3 and a half, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see how that works out, but just choose the easiest bar and it's job done. So I suggest this is the easiest bar for us to look at. And we are counting in, or I suppose this is the easiest bar as well. We're counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes here, because if we're counting in half notes, minim beats, it won't fit. We've not got a complete unit of beats. There's one there, but then the next one is not complete. So we're counting over 4 crotchet beats here. So how many crotchet beats are there? There's 1, 2 there, and there's another one. So 3 over 4 is our answer. And this bar shows again easily, there's 1 crotchet beat or quarter note, there's another one, there's another one. If you want to check it in the other bars, of course, don't let this triplet throw you. 3 in the time of 2. So 2 quaver beats gives us 1 crotchet. There's another crotchet with half as much again because of the dot, so half and a half. The dot and the quaver give us the other beat, and so on. So that's that one easily completed. Let's move on. Now the next question we don't need to do. From 2018 onwards, the 4-bar rhythm is no longer part of the exam paper, so there's no need for us to do that. And so we'll just press on and look at the next question. So question 3 asks us to rewrite the following melody in notes and arrests of half of the value. And you can see here we've changed the time signature, and then we're going to have to rebeam the notes as necessary to fit the new time signature. So here we're counting 3 quarter notes, 3 crotchets per bar. Here we're counting 3 quavers, 3 eighth notes per bar, so everything's halved. And so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make anything that's a crotchet or a quarter note into a quaver. So I just had a little tail, and then if it's already a quaver or an eighth note, it needs another tail to make it into a semi-quaver or 16th note. So that will become a quaver, an eighth note, that will become a quaver, an eighth note. So to halve these, we're going to have to add another beam, so they'll become semi-quavers or 16th notes. Here, if we colour that in, it comes from a minim to a crotchet. That will need a little tail. These will need little tails. That will need a little tail. That needs an extra tail. That needs an extra tail. Colour that in. That's half from a minim to a crotchet. And then here that becomes a quaver rest, an eighth note rest. So that's what we've got to do on this line here, and then of course we're going to have to beam all of these extra quavers tails that have been added now. Now the easy part to that is, if you remember, in 3 over 8 you just beam everything together, the whole bar, because it's such a short bar. So really It's just a matter of beaming everything that's got a tail. So I'm just going to get the note heads in first of all, keeping everything aligned so we don't get lost. So we colour this one in now. That one will have a tail. So nearly there, dot that. Colour this one in now because we're halving it, and there's the rest that we've thought about. So we know that these have got tails, so these will be joined together, and then that one we add the extra tail to show it's a 16th note or a semiquaver. So all of these are going to be beamed together now, as the rules of beaming in 3/8 show. And then we need to show that these are semiquavers. By all means use a ruler. So this one doesn't beam because that's a crotchet, that's a quaver. So these can be beamed together, so we can decide whether they go up or down. That one should go up, that one should go down. They go either way, so we can go either way. I'm decided to go with the stems up, but you don't have to. These stems must come down though, because this is above the middle line. And so is this one. This one can go either way. And just put the stem on there. That's that completed. So there we go. Let's turn over the page and we'll have a look at question 4. So question 4 asks us to write the tonic triads. So that's the first part. And we also need to add a correct key signature, so there's the second part. So just keep your eye on the clef. Writing the tonic triads, that's the easy bit. As soon as you've found the tonic, so we're in D major, so the tonic is D. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's space, space, space. Or if it begins on a line, it's line, line, line. And then the key signature, so this is where we need to just think a moment. D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps. And then that's sorted, job done. So A minor, we need to find the tonic. So there's an A in the treble. So first, third, fifth. Now A minor is related to C major, so it's a key signature of nothing. So that's soon completed. D minor, so we're in the bass clef now. Good boys deserve. There's our D, the tonic or tone key. First, third, fifth. And D minor is related to F major. It has a key signature of B flats, so that's there. So it's just making sure that you position it correctly for the clef. So G major in the bass clef, let's find a G. So we know it's good boys deserve. So G first, third, fifth, and G major has a key signature of 1 sharp, F sharps. So just position that there. And then finally B flat major. Treble clef, every good boy. There's our B, first, third, fifth, and it has a key signature of 2 flats, B flats and E flats. And that's that question completed. So I do hope that that's helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that'd be super. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.